Everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law through this channel. I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this, this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, we do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video, I'm going to be doing an update on ticker symbol IDKFF, which was featured in the previous video, also known as ThreeD Capital, which is currently up 28% on the previous 5 days. And then we're going to look at ticker symbol MMTLP, and I'm going to be sharing with you details of the class action brought by 3 plaintiffs, and this is with regard to a demand for at least $8 per share. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the markets. And first of all, we can see from the Wall Street Journal, the stock market today, Nasdaq is inching up. Moderna has taken a significant dive, and I think the Moderna highs of when we had COVID are certainly over. And we can also see inflation using the Fed's favored gauge is likely softer than CPI, so we will hopefully get positive news next week. And from CNBC, we can see here the S&P 500 is ticking higher and going into the 4th straight gain. So hopefully may that continue. And in other news, for anybody who has been investing in gold, gold has again hit a record high, and we can see it's just gone in excess of 2,581. Let's start by having a look at ticker symbol IDKFF, also known as ThreeD Capital. So go ahead and check out my previous video where I carried out some significant due diligence in this, with information from the CEO as well. So ticker symbol IDKFF. So if we have a look at the chart for the previous 5 days, we can see today it went at one point in excess of 26 cents. It's still up over 28% on the previous 5 days, so doing quite well, and also over the previous month up close to 22%. So go ahead and check out the previous video out on ThreeD Capital. So again, this is a high risk, high reward stock, but in terms of some of the due diligence that I carried out on this, I think the potential there is huge. Before we look at the details of the class action, I'm going to give a shout out here to Whiskey, who's posted with regard to Pete Sessions, and we can see here US Representative Pete Sessions of the Waco District 17 is on a salary of $174,000, but obviously we know how many millions it makes from his trades. And what Whiskey has stated here is, Pete, is it time to bring the truth to light? You have been stringing along 65,000 plus families for almost 2 years while you refuse to shed any light on the aggregate audited share count. So Pete has gone significantly quiet, so I would like him to provide an update. And in terms of one of the reasons why he may have gone quiet is the next post from Whiskey, who states voters in Pete Sessions' area need to really ask, why did Pete insert himself into the spin out of MMTLP? What was the reason for that? What conversations did Pete have with the SEC and the associates of the FINRA fraud? And was the halting of over 65,000 families and the investments 21 months ago designed to protect one of Pete's alleged friends by the name of Hilltop Securities, which I think if you look at some of the previous videos and the DD that the MMTLP community have conducted, you'll see that they were a significant contributor to Pete Sessions, and we all know about Hilltop Securities. So let's have a look at the class action. This has been brought by Todd Taggart, and unusually this is a class action against NextRich Hydrocarbons, which in my personal opinion, I do not agree that this is the best course of action, but nevertheless, let's go ahead and have a look at who is behind this class action. So we can see in terms of the plaintiffs, first one is Todd Taggart. He acquired 16,500 shares December in NextRich Hydrocarbons, and the other one is Mohammed Limon. He has acquired 30,000 shares, and the third one is Stephen Martinez, who acquired 19,108 shares. So that's those are the people behind this class action. I'm not sure if there are others as well, but in terms of the allegations that they are making against Berda and McCabe under section 36 and 37, we'll have a look at these. So first of all, they are stating here that McCabe liquidated approximately 6.7 million shares between $2.90 and $11.65. So that's what they're saying, and they're claiming an average price of $8.15 per share, which potentially netted McCabe between 19.6 million and 78.9 million. But I think what they don't appreciate is that McCabe did need this money to fund back into drilling operations, keep the money, keep the company surviving, and also make sure there was cash at hand due to liquidity. And remember, McCabe is still the largest shareholder, and McCabe has only sold, if this is true, a very, very small amount of his share. So he is still by far the biggest shareholder and not sold all of those. So the other allegation under Section 37 is with regard to Berda, and again, same thing, but Berda, I think this is the first time he's sold in a long, long time, and again, he's only sold a very small amount of shares that he had, and the claim here, he's held to just in excess of 2.3 million shares, and from this he sold allegedly 388,000. So Berda did state that this was the case, and they are stating here that the proceeds that Berda may have got were potentially between $300,000 and $3 million. So let's have a look at their prayer for relief. So we can see here what they are looking for is obviously a class action under Rule 23 of the Federal Rule for Civil Procedure. Then they're looking at damages, and then Part C, they're looking at compensatory damages, and then they're looking at awarding to the plaintiff, which is them, and class their reasonable costs and expenses for the action, including attorney fees. In terms of the damages, that what they are basically saying is going to be an amount to be proven at trial. So they're not stated a specific figure yet, but we are going to look at a table where they have suggested potential figures that the judge may look at. And finally, awarding equitable or injunctive or other further relief at the court that may seem just and proper. So let's have a look at the appendix that they've shared, and in this appendix they're using obviously the $8.15 per share, but what we can also see here is they have also used another figure, and that figure here, if you have a look on the screen, is a figure for their loss calculation. So the loss calculation they are using for Todd, for Mohammed, and for Stephen is an $11 per share loss calculation. And what we can see that Todd has stated that he's lost just in excess of $134,000. Mohammed has lost in excess of $244,000, and Stephen has lost in excess of $155,000. So that's basically what they're looking at in total. So basically this is something that I think is overall, in my opinion, not a great thing, because you're attacking the company that is trying to fight and resolve this for us. So let's see how this progresses. And finally, if you would like to get further details with regard to stocks such as IDKFF and many other stocks that we're covered in the channel, details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.